There you are. I'm guessing you saw the state of things on your way here from the mineral smelting facility. The contamination has eaten away at everything. This used to be a wide open plain. I took an early look around and it's nearly as bad as Dorian Forest. We won't be able to move out right away. We need to get a better lay of the land. At least your experience in Dorian Forest should give us an edge. Go see Aquil.
Hi there. I've been briefed on what happened. Our troops will head out to rescue the miners at the mineral smelting facility. Like Javier probably told you, this area is just as heavily contaminated as Dorian Forest. Unfortunately, Beladian troop gear isn't up to the task of getting through this mess. The Supreme Mercenaries in biosuits are the only ones doing recon here. But you saw them, didn't you? Most of them are fresh recruits. The veterans were sent off to the mining war. Then there's what happened to Mars Gudelch. Even with the biosuits, the rookies probably can't handle a real emergency. I suppose this search operation is their chance to get real field experience. Find the ones currently out on patrol, and get a read on the situation. With communications spotty, it's hard to get a clear picture of what's happening with each other.
I'll scan for Supreme Mercenary signals nearby.
Greetings! You're broadcasting Supreme Mercenary credentials? I don't believe we've met. Are you a new recruit? Oh, you're the one who's been on extended external deployment. Nice to meet you. Chris mentioned something about an amazing visitor. Now I see what he meant. Are you here to back us up? We've nearly wrapped up scouting this area, but haven't seen anything unusual. At least nothing related to the Karens. If you plan to explore further, beware of the creatures spreading infection. I'll push ahead and keep reconning over there.
To move in further, we'll need to take care of the nearby Nezads first. Spotted. They're closing in. Clear them out so we can search the area. Looks like they used a contaminated arcane core here. Let's go back to Javier and report this.
Infected creatures are spotted all over Galio. Our units are scattered and tracking energy signatures to pinpoint the contamination source. With this level of infected activity, fighting is inevitable. The new recruits may not be able to handle it on their own. I want you to assist them.
Let's head to a different area. We should come across another mercenary.
Hello there. I've been waiting for you. It's a pleasure to be working with you again. I've been measuring the contamination levels here. The readings here are much higher than where we met last time. But the infected are interfering with my readings. It's not just animals anymore. Some of them used to be human. This area is remote. There shouldn't have been any civilians out here. Just where did all these infected come from? Regardless, I'm excited for this joint up. If you can take care of the infected nearby, I'll keep scanning. There's a drone launcher set up deeper inside. Once the coast is clear, activate it when you're ready.
Chris was right. These infected are wearing Koran attire. I mean, we are close to the Koran border. But how did they get this far in their condition? Drone launcher now. We'll need to clear out the infected nearby so the drone can explore without interference.
drone returned safely with a full scan of the area. From the look of things, these infected were purposefully brought in. Just from a basic count, there's an overwhelming variety of types present. I've never seen such a I just wonder what the Karens are doing. At any rate, our priority right now is to pinpoint the contamination source. I'll keep scanning for it. In the meantime, do what you can to thin out their numbers.
These infected are spreading the contamination by moving around. I'm sure they're mindless. Still, we can't let this spread continue. Let's clear out the rest. If we ignore them, they'll carry the infection further. I'm picking up another arcane core signal from that direction. We just keep finding traces without the actual core. Could somebody be moving it?
Contamination levels in this area seem mostly consistent. I don't think there is a direct contamination source here. I'll notify you right away if anything turns up.
Looks like those after this land have reached this area. They're probably planning to take over once it's been abandoned due to the contamination. They don't seem to be spreading the contamination themselves, but they're slowing down our members' investigation. Find a rookie named Aiden, check in with him, and provide support. I'll let him know. If you come across an arcane core or any Karens, contact me right away.
Hello. There. I heard you were coming. Just ahead, a hostile group is trying to lay claim to this land. Captain said to avoid conflict, but they're making it rather hard. They're aggressive by nature, and the numbers are in their favor. Could you clear them out? I'll focus on tracing the contamination source. I don't think the source is here. Oddly enough, every zone is showing nearly identical readings. It's starting to look like the contamination level is being managed on purpose. Otherwise, the region should already be completely overrun. Unfortunately, our equipment can't detect anything more than that. Maybe a rover can reveal more. You'll need to deal with the nearby hostiles first, though.
Clear out the surrounding threats so we can search further inside. the area and move on. This way. Let's check it out. I'm picking up an arcane core signal over there as well. Another bust. Let's go back to Javier for now.
We keep picking up an unknown signal in the area. It feels similar to that time when the Holy Stonekeeper emerged. Aquil's troops and I will stay here to secure the base. You regroup with Chris.
Chris just sent an emergency alert. Something must have gone wrong.
Oh, hi. I'll live. The biosuit kept me from the worst of it. I was ambushed by Karens. They were strong. There weren't that many. But the big one, he's on a different level. Be careful. We should call for backup.
Go now. The others will look after Chris. Karens are using an arcane core to spread the infection.
Hey, are you alright? Did we come too late? The arcane core was destroyed, but the Corans may be able to do something. They've managed to restore one after an accident. If you come with me, the Coran priests won't object too much. This is Kirill, one of the Cora Knights. Is this your first time meeting a Coran?
Greetings. I'm Kirill Everune of the Knights of the Light of Korsha. Are you a colleague of Pero? Then we likely share the same mission. For now, let's get out of these sunken lands. The stench is unbearable. Our airship is stationed nearby. I'll send you the coordinates. Meet us there.
Javier and other
What's happening
mercenaries
here?
are here.
That Corin
Let's bring them up
doesn't
to
seem
speed.
like an enemy. The arcane core was destroyed, and you have to go to Korsha to restore it? So now we're working with Cora, too, after Akresha. I suppose it's only natural for the three factions to cooperate since the whole Novus is at risk. Still, even with Pero along, a military unit of our size would put a strain on Cora. We'll stay here to wrap up and pursue Karens from a different front. You go with Pero to Korsha. Just call us if you need backup.
Shall we get going then? Hop on the airship. Beautiful city, right? Most Balatians are surprised when they first see Korsha. Now, keep this in mind. Cora is a religious state. They worship a god named Desem. He is considered the source of their force powers. To a Balatian like me, it just seems like psychic ability. Almost everyone here is a believer of Desemism. The whole society runs on a religious system. So, try not to say anything that might insult their faith. I'll head on in. You go meet some of the other Corans. Octavia will be helping us from their side. You've already met Kirill, right? The big guy over there is Trancio. He looks stern, but he's actually pretty chill.
You're Pero's colleague? I'm Trancio Vickers, one of the Knights of the Light. We know about the threat of Karens. We'll support you however we can. But first, the arcane core must be restored. Captain Octavia is working on that.
I recognize the necessity, but unbelievers are rarely welcomed in Korsha. Without Captain Octavia's direct authorization, you'd never... She commands the Knights of the Light. Be sure not to show any disrespect in her presence.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Octavia Mistral. Pero and the Knights have already told me about the situation. What the Karens are doing is a threat that rises above all borders. Our first step must be to restore the destroyed arcane core. We Corans live by a power known as the Force. Its expression varies. Some wield it with strength, others with fine control. To restore a broken relic requires those who can control the Force with the highest degree of delicacy. You need to find 3 Force users: Vex, Altair, and Denel. They are spread across Korsha, engaged in different missions. Start with Vex in the Spire Plains. Aid him in completing his mission. Go with Kirill. She will vouch for your presence. Once all 3 are gathered, we shall meet again at the Great Desem Temple.
really easygoing for someone who leads an entire Night Order.
How did it go with Captain Octavia? How are they going to restore the Arcane Core? So you need to bring together 3 Force users? They're likely all over Corsia now. Still, with the help of the Knights of the Light, you should manage just fine. Captain Octavia knows the threat the Karens represent. She'll support us however she can. That said, restoring a relic isn't just about Force users. We'll talk about the details later, for now. This is Kadasha. She may not look it now, but she was once the strongest Force user in Korra. She's also a Scion chosen by Arca, just like us. Kadasha, this is the fellow Scion I mentioned before.
I'm Giz Kadasha. I'm sorry you have to see me like this. But I'm truly glad to see another Scion among us. Let's give our all for Novus. My body was taken by someone who tried to harness my Force abilities. Before I blacked out, I managed to transfer my consciousness into an arcane core using my Force. I had no idea such a thing was even possible. We still don't know who's behind it, but I'll find out eventually. You're leaving to restore a destroyed arcane core, I heard. If I were whole, I'd help you myself. May fortune guide your path.
This is Kirill. Once you're ready, meet me at the Spire Plains. You're here earlier than I thought. And rightly so. Not a task we can afford to delay. We'll need priests with formidable Force powers to recover the relic. We need to aid them in their tasks. Only then can they all convene. The ones we seek are Vex, Altair, and Denel. Among them, Priest Vex has been dispatched to mediate between the Constructionists and the Holy War faction. Hans here is a Constructionist. He should know something about Vex's whereabouts.
Vex met with the Constructionists first, then headed to the Holy War faction. Truthfully, it's not exactly the proudest side of our faith to show to outsiders. You see, Decimism, Korra's state religion, has fractured into various sects. We Constructionists and the Holy War faction have long been in conflict over differing interpretations of doctrine. Vex departed quite some time ago. The silence since then is worrying. I fear the Holy War Zealots might have done something to him.
For now, let's follow the path Vex took.
If we're going to follow that path, we'll need to clear out these beasts first.
Greetings. It's been a while since we last had an outsider here. Ah, you must be the Baladian mercenary said to be traveling with Kirill. I was also looking for Vex, but the beasts have kept me pinned down here. Could you take care of these beasts? I know for a fact that Vex headed this way.
Let's show it to Kirill.
We're short on clues apart from eyewitness accounts. Did you find anything? That's a priest's herb pouch. The emblem suggests it belongs to Vex. The herbs are wilted. It seems a fair amount of time has passed since this bag was dropped. I can't say for sure what happened, but it seems like it must have been a rather urgent situation. Let's clear out more of the beasts and continue our search.
Oh, you're an outsider. What can I do for you? Seen Vex? I most certainly did. I'd been attacked by a beast, and Vex healed me before he left. A renowned Force wielder is truly something else. My wounds vanished as if they were never there. He mentioned he was on his way to meet the Holy War faction. Seemed to be in a bit of a hurry. He traveled alone, but with his Force power, I wasn't too concerned. If you're going after him, watch out for those Vapors lurking around. They've swarmed in, hoping to snatch resources from the Holy War faction's construction site.
As if the feud between the Holy War faction and Constructionists wasn't enough. Now the Vapors show up. Great. dropped over there. Let's check it out. Emergency rations? Doesn't seem to belong to Vex. Let's take out the Vapors around here and keep looking around.
I've spoken to all the constructionist priests in the area, but all I've gotten are vague eyewitness accounts. I suppose it's time we need to confirm whether Vex actually met with them. They're known to be a bit exclusionary, but word is, the Holy War faction has been suffering poison attacks from local beasts. Let's eliminate the beasts around here and collect their venom sacs before we approach the Holy War faction. If we bring enough, they should be able to craft an antidote. Hopefully, that'll help ease their wariness toward us.
I saw you for the first time. I knew you were the one. You didn't say a word to me, but love was in the air. Then
signal?
Descend be praised. Someone's finally here to help. My name is Vex, an Arbiter. I was on my way to meet with the Holy War faction when I saw these people being hunted by a pack of Vapors. Fighting isn't my forte, but I couldn't stand by while people needed saving, so I stepped in. Unfortunately, my attempt to save them left me stranded here as well. For me, one moment. These people need medical attention. If you help them, I will offer you my aid in return. Can you take down the nearby beasts and gather what I need to make a remedy?
I'll contact Kirill and let her know we found Vex. Let's take down these beasts and collect their hearts.
You've returned with the ingredients. Thank you. I'll mix them into the medicine right away. Here, please distribute this to the injured.
So, whatever led us here, this should pause their conflict for now. However, these injured individuals who delayed Priest Vex's journey must be held accountable.
What are you saying, Kirill? Is this how the Knights of the Light treat the wounded? I chose to help them of my own free will. If anyone's to be held responsible, it should be me.
I couldn't do that. How could I possibly reprimand you, Priest Vex? Very well. I will drop the matter of accountability entirely.
That would be most appreciated, Kirill. I know your heart was in the right place. And regarding the Constructionists and Holy War faction, while their dispute stems from various issues, the threat of beasts roaming the area is one of them. If we eliminate the beasts, both factions can enjoy shared safety in this land. Would you go and drive out the beasts? That would be the cornerstone for bringing peace to this land. Once the wounded are safely returned, I will join you.
Honestly, that was a surprise. It's not like the injured wanted to get hurt. First, let's go to the location Vex mentioned and eliminate the beasts.